The CEO rejected a 7 million model and risked all for a poor single mother. What happens when a fashion millionaire interrupts a casting with 7 professional models for a courier food without makeup? When the CEO of a fashion empire hides his wealth from a single mother who works in a family cafe? A story about how a meeting randomness destroys all the plans of a successful businessman, forcing him to reconsider the concept of beauty, love, and sincerity. But what drives him to reject all stereotypes of the fashion industry, and why is this woman becoming a threat to her business partners? Before we begin the story, write in the comments from which part of the world you are watching us. Today, Sebastian Vega he adjusted his cufflinks and took one last look at the 7 models lined up before him. Each one were the embodiment of perfection, tall, slim, with impeccable makeup and AA professional portfolio behind it. This is exactly what the fashion industry required for the new campaign advertising of his empire. Miss Carolina turned to the first model, Show the Walk. The 24-year-old blonde walked down the improvised catwalk with precision mechanics refined by years of training. Perfect but empty. Well, the next. One after the other, the models showed off their skills. Sebastian, he took notes in his notebook, but with every minute that passed, he realized more and more that something was wrong. They seemed all copies of each other, devoid of individuality. "Mr. Vega," interrupted his assistant Luis, "have a problem with the lighting, need a technician. Call him, and in the meantime, announced a 15-minute break." The models dispersed around the studio, checking the makeup and discussing their options. Sebastian stepped out onto the balcony of the piano, looking at the chaotic Madrid under him. At 35, he was the owner of one of the most big fashion corporations in Europe. But for some reason, it felt empty. Suddenly, the door to the office flew open, and a girl in a food courier uniform entered. Her dark hair gathered in a simple ponytail, her face without a trace of makeup, but in her large brown eyes shone a sincere kindness. "Excuse me," he said, looking around. "I'm looking for Mr. Martinez, order delicious." "There's no one by that name here," one of the models replied coldly. "This is a private casting, sorry, I must have got the wrong floor," the bus driver said embarrassedly. But before, as he was leaving, he noticed in a corner of the studio a girl of about 16 years old wearing a simple dress, clearly Anna Weiss model who sat apart from the others with sad eyes. "Hey," the bus girl said softly, "is everything okay?" "No, I don't know," whispered the girl named Camilla. "It's my first casting, maybe I'm not right." "Why do you think that?" "Look at them." Camilla nodded toward the professional models. "And look at me, I can't even walk very well, on the catwalk." The bus driver sat down next to her. "You know what? The beauty isn't just about looks, it's what comes from within. And you have very kind eyes. Really, really, the important thing is that you remain yourself. Don't try to be like them. Be who you are." Sebastian watched the scene from the balcony and felt something moving in his chest. For the first time in a long time, saw true humanity not acted, not professional, but sincere. "Thank you," Camilla smiled. "What's your name?" Valentina Morales. "I'm Camila. Maybe we'll see each other again for sure," Valentina promised. "Good luck with that." Casting when the bus left, Sebastian remained on the balcony for a long time, reflecting on what he had seen. That simple girl, in 2 minutes, had done more to lift the mood of the young model than the entire beauty industry had made in years. "Mr. Vega," Luis called him. "The technician has arrived, we can continue." "No," he said unexpectedly. "Sebastian, the casting is over." "What?" "But we haven't chosen yet." "I said that. It's over." "The girls can go?" "But sir, the advertising campaign will be there," Sebastian said firmly, "but not with them." The models exchanged confused glances. Carolina approached Sebastian. "Mr. Vega, if this is we can discuss compensation." "It's not a question of money," he replied. "It's just that I'm looking for something else." "What exactly?" "Sincerity, true beauty, something that can't you buy it or learn it in a course." "I don't understand." "I don't understand it yet either," Sebastian admitted. "But I know for a fact that's not it." When everyone left, he remained in the empty study, reflecting on his encounter with the courier Valentina. Her name was also beautiful, and something about her had struck him, more than years of dating top models. Louis called his assistant. "Find me the delicious delivery service." "Why, sir?" I want to order lunch, but she has a personal chef. I'll order delivery today. Sebastian smiled. And maybe not just today, Luis shrugged in confusion, but went to carry out the task while Sebastian, for the first time in many years, he felt emotion. Not for the closing of a multi-million-dollar deal, but for the thought of meeting a simple girl who didn't even know who he was, and it was wonderful. Valentina Morales checked the address for the third time and went up to the 32nd floor of the exclusive Royal Center. The order was unusual. Someone had asked expressly that it was she who delivered the delivery and not one of her colleagues. "Mr. Martinez," he asked when the door opened and he saw a tall man in an expensive suit. "Yes, it's me," he lied. Sebastian introduced himself with a made-up name. "Thanks for the delivery. I'm 22, please." He handed over the money, leaving a generous tip. "Hear the rest, but it's too much. Yesterday he helped the girl at the casting. It was very kind." Valentina looked at him in surprise. "Were you there?" "I don't remember you. I was working in the next room." "I heard the conversation." "Oh, I see. How's Camilla?" "Good. She passed the casting, right?" "Oh!" Valentina rejoiced. "How wonderful. I was so worried about her." Sebastian lied. The girl hadn't gotten over the selection, but he couldn't make Valentina sad. He had also already decided to find Camilla and offer her a contract. "And how long has she been working as a courier?" he asked. "For a year and a half while I attend evening university." "What do you study?" "Marketing. I want to understand how business works from the inside." "Interesting. And what are your ideas on modern marketing?" Valentina hesitated. "I don't think so. Interest you? On the contrary, I am very interested. I work as marketing consultant." "Really?" She brightened. "Then maybe he'll understand. Two think modern marketing is too fake." "In what sense?" "Everyone. They try to sell a dream, not a product. They show perfect people in perfect situations, but real people. He doesn't believe it. And what works? Honesty, sincerity. When a brand shows real people with real emotions and problems, Sebastian listened to with growing interest. Those ideas, they perfectly matched what he felt inside but couldn't formulate. Examples? Sure, ours, Sabor Casera Family Cafe. We don't advertise ourselves as the best restaurant in town, let's just say. Home cooking prepared with love, and we have many regular customers. A family cafe? Yes, it belongs to my mother Esperanza. I work as a courier to help her with her finances. Times are tough. And where's the coffee? In the neighborhood, Lava Pieri. It's not a prestigious area, but it has a soul. Can you give me the address? I'd like to try your home cooking. Valentina wrote the address on a napkin. Come, the evening after the 18-0. My mother will be happy to have a new client. When she left, Sebastian looked at the napkin with the address for a long time. Lava Pies was a working-class neighborhood where he had never been, but suddenly wanted to. I really enjoyed going there. In the evening, he dressed in jeans and a simple shirt. For the first time in years, she left the house without a designer dress. The Sabor Casera Cafe turned out to be a small place with 10 tables, a handwritten menu, and the smell of home cooking. "Welcome!" A woman in her 50s greeted him, plump with kind eyes. "I'm Speranza, the owner. What do you want, taste?" "Good evening, my name is." Sebas hesitated. "Your daughter recommended your coffee." "Valentina, where is it?" "Valenti, we have a guest." Valentina came out of the kitchen with an apron and a little flower on his cheek. "Mr. Martinez, are you really coming?" "I promised." "And just call me Sebas." "Okay, Sebas." "Mom, it's the consultant I was telling you about." "Consultant?" He was interested. "Hope. Maybe you can help us with advertising because things aren't going so well." "Mom!" Valentina blushed. "We shouldn't burden this man with our problems." "It's not a problem." She smiled. "Sebastian, tell me. The big chains are taking our customers away." He sighed and... Hope. They offer fast food at a low price, while we cook slowly with quality ingredients. "We can't compete on price, but you can compete on quality," Sebastian said, "and on soul." Easy to say. What if we did a little experiment? What kind of experiment? Let's try a new approach for a week to attract customers without advertising costs. Valentina was interested in listening. Tell each customer the story of the dish. Who invented it? Why? These very ingredients. What memories are linked to them? Stories of food. People don't just buy a dish, but an emotion, a memory, a connection with the past. And Speranza thought about it. "You know, I really have some stories." This paella recipe comes from my grandmother, and my mother still used to make the bean soup. Here exactly, tell these stories. The next hour, they discussed the concept of emotional menu. Sebastian admired the speed with which Valentina grasped the essence of marketing ideas and developed them. A talent for business, he told her face to face. It's just interest. I've always dreamed of understanding how successful companies work. And which companies do you consider successful? Those who don't forget people. Vega Fashion Empire, for example. Sebastian nearly choked on the water. Why that company? They make beautiful clothes, but without losing humanity. I've heard that their manager takes great care of his employees. Where do you get this information from? I read it in magazines, although obviously I don't know it personally. Management laughed. Sebastian smiled, understanding the irony of the situation. If only he knew who he was talking to. But for now, he wasn't ready to reveal himself. He wanted to know her better, understand how she saw her company from the outside, and above all, for the first time in his life, he was simply Sebas. Not the millionaire Sebastian Vega, and this feeling was extraordinarily refreshing. Sebastian became a regular customer of the Saber Casera coffee. Every day it arrived under the pretext of lunch, but in reality to be able to talk to Valentina. Their conversations became increasingly deeper and more personal. Sebas, he said she one day, cleaning tables after lunch. Can I ask a personal question? Sure. Do you have a family, children? No. Hey! I have a daughter, Sophia. She's 8 years old. Where is he now? At school? He'll be here soon to do his homework at the cafe. I hope you don't mind a little childish noise, but on the contrary, I'll be happy to meet you. After half an hour, she rushed in. In the cafe, a little girl with dark curls and lively eyes, identical to Valentina. Mom! Mrs. Marta shouted. She gave me top marks for the essay. Well done, princess, Valentina smiled. Sophia, let me introduce you to Mr. Sebas, our friend. The little girl looked carefully at Sebastian. He really is a friend. Mom's? Of course. And why does she ask? Because Mom has few friends, she works always. Valentina blushed. Sophia, but it's the truth, the little girl insisted. Are you getting up? At 6, Dao, you work at the cafe, then you deliver the food, in the evening you study. When do you sleep? Sleep is overrated, Valentina joked, but Sebastian could see the tiredness in her eyes. And where is your dad? Sophia asked Sebastian. Sophia, her mother gasped. He's not. They ask certain questions. It's okay, Sebastian reassured her. My father ISD'd when I was little. Mine too, the little girl said seriously. Mom says who watches us from heaven. Your mother is right. And you will marry my mom? Sophia asked suddenly. Sofia Nicole Morales, Valentina exclaimed. Apologize right away. Why? I just asked. I like Mr. Sebas. He's kind and has beautiful eyes. Sebastian laughed. Thanks for the compliment, Sophia, but decisions like that, they take the big ones. Understood? The little girl nodded philosophically. So for now, you're just friends. In the evening, while Sophia was doing her homework at a table nearby, Valentina apologized for her daughter. Forgive me for your bluntness. She has a very lively imagination. She is a wonderful, intelligent, and sincere child, too sincere at times. And it is not a flaw? Valentina reflected. In our world, sincerity can go bad because people take advantage of it, deceive, betray trust. It has. Have you had a similar experience? Yes, Sophia's father had promised me he would marry me, and when he found out about it, the pregnancy disappeared. He was already married and was just looking for fun. I'm sorry, it doesn't matter. I had the greatest gift, Sophia, and I understood that it's better to be alone than with a fake person. And if I were to meet one, honestly, how could I know it really is? He smiled sadly. Sebastian, she felt a pang of conscience. He too was deceiving her, hiding his true name and his assets. Sebas interrupted Sophia in her thoughts. Can you help me with math? Mom isn't good. Sure. The next hour, he explained to the little girl the fractions, amazed at how easily he found a common language with her. Sophia proved to be a good student, very capable. He's a good teacher, Valentina said as she cleared the table. Do you have experience with children? No, but I really like Sophia. It's time for dinner and go home. And Mr. Sebas is coming with us? Asked the little girl. Sophia, is that the case? If you don't mind, I'd be happy to accompany you, he said. Sebastian. The Morales family home was a 5-minute walk from the cafe, a small apartment on the second floor of an old building. Sebastian, for the first time in his life, found himself in a similar dwelling, but he felt surprisingly comfortable. "Welcome in our building," Valentina said ironically, apologizing for the simplicity of the furniture. "It's very cozy here," Sebastian answered sincerely. And it was true. In the small, there was an atmosphere of love and care in the apartment that didn't exist in his luxurious villa. "Mom, can Mr. Will Sebas stay for dinner?" asked Sophia. "Sophia, Mr. Sebas will have his commitments." "Actually, I'd be happy to," he admitted. During the modest dinner, they talked about their plans for the future. Sophia dreamed of becoming a doctor. Valentinato get a degree in marketing and open his own advertising agency. "And you, Mr. Sebas?" asked the little girl. "What is your dream?" Sebastian stopped to think. What was his dream? The years dedicated to building the company had made him forget his true dreams. "I want to create something important, something that makes the world better, like a superhero," she exclaimed, enchanted Sophia. Maybe he smiled. When it was time to say goodbye, Sophia hugged him. "Cool. Come with her again, I'm having fun." "I'll definitely come." At the door, Valentina said, "Thank you for the evening. I haven't felt this way in a long time." "Don't worry. Was I fine too? Your family is wonderful, little one, but united. It's not the quantity that matters, it's the love that matters." Coming home, Sebastian, he thought about the contrast between his life and Valentina's. She had very little materially, but she had what he lacked: a real family, relationships, sincere, a simple human happiness. And for the first time, he understood that it was really what he had been missing for all those years. But he also understood that sooner or later he would have to tell the truth. And not. He was sure that Valentina would forgive him for the deception. For now, however, enjoyed the role of the simple Sebas, to whom two of the people dearest to him, they trusted each other. Ricardo Castro, Sebastian's business partner and old friend, he carefully examined the photographs on his phone screen. The private detective had done a great job. Images of Sebastian with Valentina at the cafe were clear and compromising. "Interesting," she murmured, flipping through the photos. The heir to the fashion empire in love with a little bus. Next to him, in the luxurious office, sat Isabella Ramirez, former top model and former lover of Sebastian. 2 years earlier, they had broken up. He had used the excuse of work, but she still hoped to win him back. "What do we do?" Isabella asked, clenching her fists. "Nothing for now. We'll wait for the right moment." "Right. But I can't watch him play the fool with this charming, silly girl," Ricardo sneered. "Don't worry, Isa. Everything will fall into place soon." Meanwhile, at the Saber Casera Cafe, Valentina was telling Sebastian about an upcoming event. "Imagine they have, I invited my mother to provide food for the charity gala at the Hotel Gran Via. It's a great honor." "Congratulations," Sebastian said. Happy for her, but inside he was nervous. The gala evening was organized by his company. "I will help with the service. This is the first time I've entered such a luxurious place." "And when will it be?" "Saturday evening." "Ah, just curiosity," Sebastian replied. He understood that he had to act immediately. If Valentina had seen him at the evening among the company owners, the deception would have been revealed in the worst possible way. Saturday night, the Hotel Gran Via was ablaze with lights. The elite of Madrid society had gathered for the fashion industry's usual charity gala evening. Sebastian put on his tuxedo and prepared for the worst. "Mr. Vega." Yes, the event organizer approached him. Everything was ready for his speech. The journalists were waiting. The interview. "We'll make sure the ceremony goes quickly." But his plans were thwarted. Richard approached him with a pleased smile. "Sebastian, how's it going with your new passion?" "What are you talking about?" "Your little bus. Isabella told me of your romantic dinners in that working-class neighborhood." Sebastian paled. "Did you spy on me?" "We're concerned about the company's reputation. What will investors say will they find out that you are dating a servant?" "Valentina is not a servant, and it's none of your business." "I am. This affects the business. By the way, he's here tonight as a housekeeper. Didn't you know? His mother is providing the food for the event." At that moment, Sebastian saw Valentina in a waitress uniform with a tray of drinks in her hand. Their gazes met. They passed each other across the room. Surprise appeared on her face, then perplexity. She saw him in a tuxedo, surrounded by business partners, and clearly didn't understand what was going on. Sebas said softly, approaching. "What are you doing here, Valentina? Can I explain?" "Explain what? Why are you here? Why are you in that suit?" Richard sneered and said aloud, "Allow me to introduce Sebastian Vega, owner of the VGA Fashion Empire Company and organizer of this event." The tray fell from Valentina's hands and broke on the marble floor. Noise attracted the attention of those present. "It's not true," she whispered. "Unfortunately, it's the truth," confirmed Ricardo. "Sebastian Vega is a billionaire and not just a simple consultant Sebas, as he introduced himself." Valentina looked at Sebastian with pain and disappointment. "You've been lying to me all this time. Valentina, please listen to me." "Why?" Her voice trembled with tears. "Why did you need it? For have fun with a silly, naive girl? It's not like that. Me? What? Do you love me, perhaps?" He laughed bitterly. "A billionaire in love with a bus driver. How romantic." The photographers, they had already trained their cameras on them. The flashes were blinding. The journalists, they recorded every word. "Valentina, not here," asked Sebastian. "Let's talk about it in private." "Don't you dare touch me." She pushed his hand away. "I've been a diversion for you, the poor single mother to play do-gooder with." "No, that's not the case. So why did you hide the truth? Why did you pretend to be someone else?" "Because I wanted you to know me, the one true, not my money." "The real one?" She looked at him with contempt. "The real one? You're a liar, a man who deceives those who trust him." Valentina turned around and she ran toward the exit. Sebastian tried to follow her, but Ricardo stopped him. "Leave her alone. Don't you see you're worlds apart?" "Different?" "Leave me alone," Sebastian said angrily. "Maybe you should thank me. I saved you from a serious mistake." But Sebastian wasn't listening anymore. He ran out into the street. But he didn't hear anything about Valentina. There was a trace. The next morning, all the tabloids exploded with headlines. "The billionaire and the bus driver. A scandalous love. Gold digger from slums. How to deceive the heir to the fashion empire." The photographs of their kiss in front of the coffee were on the front page, and the readers' comments. They were full of malice and contempt towards Valentina. Sebastian held the newspaper in his hand, and he understood that he had destroyed the life of the only woman he had ever truly loved. Meanwhile, Valentina was at home holding little Sophia, who was crying and trying to explain to her why their photos were everywhere in the newspapers. And because Uncle Sebas came, their fairy tale was over as soon as it began. A month after the scandal, the Sabor Casera Cafe was practically empty. The Morales family's reputation was ruined. Customers, they avoided the place where the gold digger worked, and the delivery orders almost disappeared. "Mom, maybe should we close the cafe?" Valentina asked sadly, counting the meager cash in. "Don't give up, my daughter," Hope replied. "It will get better." But both knew they were heading for bankruptcy. In the luxurious office of the VGA Fashion Empire, Sebastian struggled with the depression and with Ricardo's attempts to oust him from management. "The board of the management is dissatisfied," the partner said. "The scandal has damaged the brand's image. Maybe you should temporarily entrust me with the management of my company for now." But if keep going like this, Sebastian didn't listen to the threats. His thoughts were only for Valentina. He knew that the family was in financial difficulty and repeatedly sent money anonymously to their account. But Valentina always returned the money, transfers. Then he began to act differently through the Foundation of Charity. He paid for treatment for needy children in the Lava Pies neighborhood. He did volunteering in family support centers without telling anyone that he was the billionaire Vega, and Speranza was the first to notice the changes in the neighborhood. "Valenti, it's a strange thing. In the center of help, a new volunteer has arrived. He helps families with children, pays for medicines, and so he looks a lot like that Sebas of yours." "Mom, don't talk to me about him." "But if not, don't you think he... Should you talk to him?" "No, he made his choice." However, after a week, the curiosity won. Valentina went to the center and really saw Sebastian. He was reading fairy tales to sick children, and there was such sincere kindness on his face that her heart trembled. "Why are you doing this?" she asked him after his shift. Sebastian, he turned and saw her. "Valentina, answer, why out of guilt?" "No, just because I realized that meaningless money is empty and the truth came to me when I lost you." She was silent, searching his face. Valentina, I know I don't have the right to ask for forgiveness, but I want you to know that everything that happened between us, it was true. Except the name. Just the name and the billions and the status and that world you live in. That world is empty without you. Beautiful words. I'm selling the company. Half of the shares I donate it to the foundation. I sell the other half and invest the money in projects for help families. Why? To live with a clear conscience and to demonstrate that I've changed. Valentina remained silent. And what will you do? I don't know. Maybe I'll open a small advertising agency. I'll help small businesses promote themselves honestly, either on my own or if you allow me with a partner. She looked at him for a long time. Sophia asks why Uncle Sebas he doesn't come anymore. And what do you answer her? That Uncle Sebas wasn't who he said he was. And what does she say? That people make mistakes sometimes, but that doesn't mean they're bad. Sebastian smiled. A wise little girl, she misses you very, very much. And you? I try not to miss it, but I'm having a hard time. After 6 months, the Saber Casera Cafe was once again crowded. The love story of the billionaire and the courier who had founded the Vega Morales agency together to help small businesses, it had touched their hearts. Mom, Dad's coming home, Sophia cried happily, running toward Sebastian. Within a year of their relationship, the little girl had started calling him Dad, and he was immensely proud. How did it go at the agency today? Valentina asked, hugging him. Great, we helped open 3 new cafes. All they use the concept of honest marketing. She corrected your concept. He kissed ours. And a month later, in the same Hotel Gran Via, where AA year before the unmasking had taken place, they celebrated the wedding. A simple ceremony, heartfelt, between true friends. Do you promise to love each other in joy and in sorrow? Asked the priest. We promise, they answered together. This time, the promise wasn't made by Sebastian, Vega, nor from the simple Sebas, but from a man who had finally found himself, a man who had understood that true love cannot be bought. Sold or it doesn't deceive, it simply exists.